Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be unboxing a guitar that was sent in to me from a viewer. That was a donation to the channel. If you guys have anything you want to donate to the channel, send me an email, mark@guitarguts.com, and we'll arrange it. I'll pay for shipping if you got a guitar that I think I can do something cool with. And yeah, this is really cool. I appreciate it. It was sent in by Steve Sowers, so shout out and thank you to Steve Sowers. And I also want to give a quick shout out real quick to Randy McCool, who also sent me a bunch of Jackson and Ibanez guitar tuners that he doesn't need anymore. He sent them in to me as a donation. So Randy, I got the tuners. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for everything, sending stuff in. I really appreciate it. It helps out the shop. And if you have anything you want to send in, like I said, send me an email, mark@guitarguts.com. We'll arrange it. I'll pay for the shipping if it's something I can do something cool with. And yeah, Steve messaged me, told me he had a guitar and a neck that he wants to send in to me. I don't think they're going to fit together, but we'll check it out. So here we have the body. It's a Les Paul, Epiphone Les Paul Jr. And it's got an Epiphone pickup there, humbucker, chrome, single humbucker guitar. Already I'm getting some metal vibes off this. That's what I'm feeling like I might do to this. I'm looking behind you guys and looking at my rack of necks, because I don't think this neck here is going to work on this guitar. I think it's a different size, but looking back there, seeing if I have anything else that would fit on this. I don't see anything off the top, but I got to go check out back there. Maybe we'll throw something that doesn't look like what you'd expect. But wow, this is interesting. He's got the output jack right on the front of the guitar there. So it's sanded down. It's a flat body Les Paul. I can see it's already wired up. Single humbucker. Oh, it's got just the stop bar, so maybe it's a bridge. I don't really know too much about the Les Paul Juniors. Here's the neck. It's actually a Jackson style neck, or Jackson replacement neck. Looks to be 24 frets, reverse headstock. Shape's a little off, but close. It's a little bit, dimension-wise, I mean, is a little off from a Jackson. Feels decent shape. It's not bad. It's like a C shape, a thin C. The frets look pretty good. They feel fine. I mean, they don't look like there's any usage on them, really. Little fret sprout. But reverse shark fin inlays, black inlays. He's got the Epiphone logo added to the headstock, but it's just a decal. I can feel it's right on top. That'll come right off. And he did some type of striping, so it looks like he stained it with some dark black stain or something, and then added some red paint. So we'll probably sand that down, redo that. Wow, let's see if the neck fits in there. The neck is a little smaller than the pocket. I have another Jackson body here. It's not actually a Jackson. It's a replica of a rare Jackson body. And I was thinking, as this was being shipped into me, that I'll probably end up using the Jackson style neck with the Jackson style body. So I just noticed something weird while I was talking. There's side markers here, of course, right? You always have your side markers on your guitar neck, so you see what fret you're playing on. But there's also side markers on the bottom. So I guess this is a universal left-handed or right-handed neck. I don't think I've ever seen that. I wonder if those are real, or they're just like painted on, or yeah, they look like they're real. The inlays on top, these I was wondering. I was gonna say, I thought that maybe they were dyed or burned onto the front of the guitar. So very cool. And then we have a bag of parts here. Okay, so we got a pick guard, very crazy looking pick guard there. Kind of like a Les Paul style, but also different. It's got some contour to it. I wouldn't use it on this guitar because there's no pickup, and this has a cutout for a neck pickup, but interesting. And then we have another pickup here. This is an Epiphone pickup also. It says bridge pickup. So I wonder what this pickup is. I wonder if that's also an Epiphone. We'll pop it out actually in a second and take a look. Yeah, this is a bridge pickup for an Epiphone guitar. Here we have a bunch of speed knobs. So we got 6 speed knobs there. If anyone needs a speed knob, hit me up. We got the hardware for this guitar, so the neck plate, the bridge, which, yeah, it's a compensated bridge, so that's where the intonation is done. You can't, I don't think those are adjustable saddles at all, which they are not, so it's just, you get what you get with this guitar, no intonation. Here we have some miscellaneous pieces to bass tuners, interesting. We'll check those out and see what brand they look like. And then we got a set of chrome Jackson tuners there, so anyone looking for some chrome Jackson tuners, hit me up. We have a locking nut here. That's cool. So that'll probably match up with this neck. And then a bunch of washers and nuts, which I have a big container of this kind of stuff, so I'll throw those in with the container. We got the hardware here for the pick guard. So a little adjusting bracket there. And some strap buttons, a set of chrome strap buttons, so really cool. So this is some type of like knockoff Jackson neck. I think he said he got it from eBay. It feels raw. It feels actually fairly decent. I'm gonna pair this up with a body I have. It's a Jackson Roswell body. And yeah, this is pretty cool. This will fit on that guitar, 24 frets. Oh, look at that. It also is no fret extension. So it's 24 frets. You can see the double dots there, but this whole thing has to slide into the guitar body. Usually with a neck like this, the neck would end, the fretboard would extend past the neck. But this one, it's all one piece. We're gonna take a look at how it, it matches up with the guitar and the distance from the nut to the bridge, but I might take a chunk out of that. And I'm looking at the way that these are drilled, and it looks like these drill holes are not correct. So these holes should have been somewhere closer up here, I think. So we'll set it into place on a guitar, put a bridge in place, and we'll measure it later. And I'm curious to see, what is this pickup here? Okay, I don't see any markings on the bottom. This is soldered on, but it looks like it's an aftermarket solder job. So I think maybe Steve or somebody else added that cover to the pickup. Just for fun, I'm going to drop the studs in for the bridge. We'll throw the bridge on, and I want to see how this neck, what the length is here of the scale. These don't want to go in, so I think maybe he used like a stripper, a chemical stripper, and some of the stripper chemical got in there. I could definitely see a lot of sanding marks, so I know he did some sanding on it too. He rounded off that corner a little bit, came down to the grain here, I can see. Well, let's measure from the D string. That's always the best spot I find. Yeah, this is going to be sitting at around 26 3/8 or so. So what I was saying was this little shelf here should be much shorter, because this neck should probably be somewhere closer to around here if this was sitting this far in on the body, so like another inch or so. Let me measure back from here. Right there we got 25.5. Yeah, so I was about 1/8 of an inch off. And from there, yeah, it's about 1 inch or so that would have to be removed from under here for this neck to fit properly in here. I think to do this, the best way that would be the most legit would be to take some of the material from here and some of the material from here, so you can gain about 1 inch back. Because if you took the full inch off from down here, you could see it would end right here, about where my thumb is. And then the contour of the neck. See the curvature here of the neck? If you moved it all the way back that far, it would be further in than the body. So there would be like this little gap inside between the body and the neck. You don't want that. You want it to be somewhere right around there. So really, I guess you'd want to take off maybe about 1/4 inch from under here, and then the rest from inside the body, about 3/4 of an inch or so. This is actually my first day painting in probably 3 weeks. My fiance was involved in a car accident. If you guys haven't seen the Patreon video from last week, about 3 weeks ago, she was in a car accident, and she was pretty badly injured. No broken bones, nothing super permanent, but very banged up and bruised up, swollen. And she hasn't been able to walk around and take the kids to school. She could hardly walk. She still hardly can walk, but she's getting around now. It's been about 3 weeks, and she's doing a lot better. But I'm taking over her job of taking the kids to and from school and going grocery shopping and bathing the baby. And I call him a baby. He's 2, but taking care of the 2-year-old as he's climbing on everything. So I actually haven't painted in weeks. I've only been working like 3 to 4 or 5 hours a day max. And I've been, now that she's starting to get around a little more, and when our little guy takes a nap, I come out here, I do a little work. I get up early, of course, like I always do. I wake up at like 4:30, 5:30 in the morning, somewhere in there. Come down here and start my day. So by 7 o'clock, 7:30, when people are waking up, the kids, then I can bring our daughter to school and come back to work for a little bit before our son gets up. So it's been pretty limited. The amount of work I've done in the last 3 weeks has probably only been like what I would normally do in like 2 days, because I normally work like 12 to 14, 15-hour days from like 5 a.m. to about 6:30 p.m. is like a normal day for me. So it's been a completely different lifestyle change, but yeah, I got to get out here and do a couple things, every day and keep some projects moving forward, because when you're self-employed like I am, people don't pay you to take time off, unfortunately. So it feels good to be back out here and painting some guitars. I just painted a star. It is super sick. If you watched the Patreon video last week, you know that I painted it a olive drab green, and we're going to be doing some other really cool stuff to that guitar. So if you want to see some of the behind the scenes on that, go check out the Patreon video from last week. And also, if you want to pick up a guitar, check out guitarguts.com right now, because I just added 5 guitars. Some of them you can actually even see behind me here. I've acquired like 25 guitars over the last 3 years. Just buying guitars every time I'm axe hunting and I see something that's a crazy good deal, I'll send people an offer, and I've acquired a ton of them. Every time people trade guitars in, if they're guitars that need work, I'll throw them on the rack over there. I have like a rack over there that holds 14 guitars, and it's been full forever. I've got bodies hanging everywhere, and it's time to get rid of some of these things. We need to find some people to buy these project guitars. So I've added them to guitarguts.com. I added 5 to start with. The Epiphone Flying V, which is actually right behind me here. LTD EX400 neck through Sharp Explorer. LTD MH350, which is a neck through archtop soloist style guitar. A Steinberger headless guitar, and a Jackson Kelly. So really cool Japanese-made Jackson Kelly. All these guitars are up at guitarguts.com, and you can actually choose which kind of paint job you would want. It doesn't go into full detail, so we'll have to go back and forth with emails, but you can at least get an idea of what the price would be, because the color doesn't really affect price. It's more the technique or the work process that affects the price. So like Crackle will be pretty much the same price for all Crackle guitars. Any splatter is going to be pretty much the same price, unless we go with a matte versus high gloss. The matte ones will be quite a bit less, because it's just a lot less work to do a matte finish guitar. So we just added 5 guitars up there. You can choose the finish you want. You can choose the hardware set that you want. So you can keep the stock hardware, you can upgrade the hardware, or you can do kind of a mix, you know, keep the tuners, buy a new bridge. And then electronics, same thing. You get to choose the pickups, you get to choose all the parts, everything about these. If you need my help, I actually put suggestions of what I would do with each one of the guitars. So go check out guitarguts.com. You could read like a little paragraph of what I would do with the guitar, because each one of these are guitars that I would add to my personal collection if I could. They're guitars that I found interesting and intriguing and exciting to work on, so I bought them so I could rebuild them, make something that I would want, and then sell it to one of you guys. When I do my axe hunting, I'm always looking for things that if I get stuck with it, I'd be happy to keep it, or things that, you know, while I'm working on it, it's something I've always wanted to work on. So that's the kind of guitars that I have that are going to be going up in the Guitar Guts store. Flying V's and Explorers, Kelly guitars, soloists, neck through guitars, like a lot of sick guitars are going to be coming up. And I'm going to be adding maybe a couple a week or 5 a week. I don't really know. I'm going to play it by ear. But right now there's 5 up there. So if you want to get a Guitar Guts creation, go check that out right now. I'll link it down in the description. And that's all we got for you today. So I appreciate you guys watching. If you want to donate something to the channel, send me an email, mark@guitarguts.com. I can send you a pre-printed label that you can just slap on the box and send me whatever you have that you don't want anymore, that you'd love to, you know, see either turn into something bigger or just to help support the shop, and send it in to us. So I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Rock on, my friends.